Welcome to the Bored Business Channel. I have to be honest with you. I am. I'm currently existing in a state that I can only describe as like a sentient zombie.
Oh, no.
I think I've been running on fumes for so long that I confuse the sound of a closing door with a full night's rest. I'm not kidding. Last night, my partner actually recorded my snoring just to prove I sound like a 747 trying to take off in a washing machine.
Oh, you got the recording.
I got the recording. I need help. Which brings us to today's mission. We are going to be looking at some amazing medical innovation, specifically focusing on the new sleep center at the Kaohsiung Armed Forces General Hospital.
It sounds like you were the perfect case study then, and you're definitely not alone.
I hope not.
No, and this center, it's not just, an upgrade. It's a necessary response to this massive, and I mean massive, underdiagnosed public health crisis.
Okay.
We're talking about integrated medical innovation that is directly tackling the struggle of millions of people in Taiwan who are dealing with sleep disorders.
Millions. Seriously.
Yeah.
Give us a scale here. I mean, I knew it was bad, but how bad?
The estimates are pretty sobering. We're talking about roughly 4.6 million people in Taiwan,
Wow.
all suffering from some form of sleep disorder. That's a huge portion of the population just walking around perpetually exhausted.
Okay, that's serious.
Yeah.
That stops being about my bad habits and, starts being about public health policy.
Yeah.
So let's get into the details of this place.
Yeah.
When did this sanctuary of slumber open its doors?
It's extremely new. The Kaohsiung Armed Forces General Hospital Sleep Center officially opened in December 2023.
Just a few months ago.
Exactly. It's located on the second floor of the Minter building. And one of the first things they prioritized was, the patient experience.
Oh, thank goodness. Because the irony of a sleep center is that they usually make you so uncomfortable that you can't possibly sleep.
Right.
And then they ruin the text.
They addressed that paradox head on. I mean, they invested in entirely brand new instruments and meticulously designed this incredibly quiet, cozy atmosphere.
Right.
The goal was to remove every possible environmental factor that could cause stress, making sure the diagnostic process doesn't, trigger more insomnia itself.
So they actually understand human psychology. Amazing. But let's jump into the problem they're really designed to solve, because this is where the danger is, right? We all know what daytime drowsiness feels like, but what specific symptoms is this center really tackling?
So the primary target, the one issue that really links exhaustion to life-threatening conditions, is heavy snoring and suspected obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA.
OSA, right.
Of course, they also treat chronic insomnia, restless leg syndrome, and just that severe daytime dysfunction, that feeling of waking up worse than when you went to bed.
I always thought of snoring as just a social faux pas. Something you get elbowed for. It's annoying, sure, but dangerous. That seems like a stretch.
And this is where the medical reality just completely clashes with the comedy trope.
Yes.
Remember that 4.6 million people we mentioned? Here's the aha moment you really need to take away from this. Nearly 90% of heavy habitual snorers likely have OSA.
90%. Wait, hold on. 90?
90.
That means we could stop laughing at the snorer and start staging an intervention.
Precisely. And the danger is systemic. I mean, OSA means your upper airway repeatedly closes or partially collapses during sleep.
Right.
And when that happens, your body just isn't getting enough oxygen. You experience chronic intermittent oxygen deprivation all through the night.
Wait, so if you're chronically lacking oxygen,
Huh.
even for just short bursts, that's like putting your body through a mini stress test every few minutes for 8 hours.
That's an excellent analogy. You are forcing your heart and your blood vessels to constantly compensate for this oxygen debt.
Oh,
Think of it like running a marathon while simultaneously holding your breath. This immense stress significantly increases your risk for severe long-term health issues. Hypertension.
so chronic high blood pressure.
Exactly. Then arrhythmias, which are irregular heart rhythms, and ultimately catastrophic cardiovascular disease.
So the argument isn't just that sleep medicine is helpful, it's that sleep medicine is preventative cardiology
That's it.
that puts the stakes for this new center incredibly high.
It absolutely does. I mean, they are providing preventative care for the entire circulatory system simply by keeping your airway open.
Okay, we've established my snoring is trying to kill me, which is great context for my next therapy session. But the problem is clearly multifaceted, right?
Yeah.
If one person has OSA because their throat structure is floppy, and another has it because they're super stressed, and a third has like a nerve issue,
Yeah.
how can one place manage all of that?
Yeah.
I thought fixing sleep was just about giving someone a mask.
And that realization that sleep is rarely a single cause issue is the very basis for this hospital's innovative structure. They moved past that old silo mentality of medicine and implemented a multi-specialty integrated team model.
A coordinated effort. So you avoid the typical patient experience of being bounced from doctor to doctor who never actually talk to each other.
Exactly.
I like that. But 4 specialists, isn't that potentially overkill? I mean, walk us through who these 4 key people are and why we need all of them.
That's a fair question, but the integration is what makes it so precise. If you only treat the symptom, say the snoring, without addressing the actual cause, maybe severe stress, the treatment will fail.
Okay, makes sense. So who are the 4 pillars?
So first you have otolaryngology, that's the ear, nose, and throat department, or ENT.
Right, the ENTs.
These are the specialists who handle the physical and mechanical blockage. They look at nasal passages, tonsils, upper airway structure to see if surgery or some physical intervention can fix the obstruction.
They're the air traffic controllers for your breathing path. Got it. Perfect. Next up is neurology. This department is crucial because they look at the central nervous system. This isn't stress. This is brain chemistry.
So they manage conditions like chronic insomnia rooted in faulty signaling, or central sleep apnea, where the brain literally forgets to tell the body to breathe, or even restless leg syndrome. They're treating the actual wiring of your sleep cycle.
So if my brain is just refusing to flip the off switch, that's the neurologist's problem.
That's their domain, exactly. Then we have thoracic medicine, or pulmonary specialists. They evaluate the entire respiratory system, the lungs, the chest, overall breathing dynamics. They're looking at lung function and how efficiently the heart and lungs are working together, especially when those apnea events happen. They monitor all the downstream effects of the blockages.
Okay, so you've got the physical structure, the central command, and the factory itself. That all makes sense. But then you have the 4th member, and this is where a lot of programs stop short.
This is the key. The 4th crucial team member is psychiatry. So many of those 4.6 million people we mentioned have sleep disorders rooted in anxiety, chronic stress, or underlying mood disorders. You can fix a floppy throat, but if the patient is hyper-aroused from stress, they still won't stay asleep. The psychiatry team addresses those emotional and mental health factors.
And this whole coordinated approach is the real selling point then. It means the facility can treat the patient who needs, I don't know, a nasal surgery, and the patient whose insomnia requires stress management. And they're doing it all under one roof.
With a shared diagnostic file, it cuts down on months of referral ping pong. They offer a holistic, customized diagnosis almost instantaneously by just getting the team together.
Okay, before we jump into the AI, which I'm very excited about, I have a practical question. This is the Kaohsiung Armed Forces General Hospital. Is this cutting-edge service actually accessible to me, the average civilian, or is this mainly for military personnel?
That is an excellent and really important question. And yes, while it is an armed forces hospital, the sleep center is open and fully accessible to the general public.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, they recognize how severe this public health crisis is, and their goal is to leverage all this tech and expertise for everyone in the region who needs it.
So it's not just a military innovation, it's a real community resource. Okay, good. Now let's talk tech, because this is the other half of what makes this center revolutionary. I can only imagine the traditional sleep study, the polysomnography, or PSG, must feel like being voluntarily strapped into a sci-fi interrogation chair.
The traditional PSG is undeniably uncomfortable. I mean, you're covered in wires, electrodes, sensors monitoring your brain waves, eye movement, muscle activity, airflow. It's the gold standard, but the wires themselves make it almost impossible to sleep naturally.
Exactly.
And that's why the center invested in the AI-driven smart analysis platform.
The AI is coming from my Ziz. Okay, how does this AI platform turn the nightmare of wires into a cozy night's rest? What's the cool factor here?
The coolest factor, by far, is the non-contact monitoring. They have fundamentally simplified how they collect data. Yep. So instead of strapping dozens of sensors to your body, they use non-invasive technology. Imagine sophisticated pressure sensors, maybe even radar or camera-based analysis to monitor all your key biological signals without touching you.
So I'm just sleeping in a beautiful, cozy room, and the room itself is the diagnostic tool.
That's exactly it. And this non-contact approach, it drastically improves something that's so crucial in sleep medicine: patient compliance and measurement consistency.
Of course.
If you're comfortable, you sleep more naturally. If you sleep naturally, the data is exponentially more accurate. It just leads to a better diagnosis.
But hold on. If the traditional test with all the wires is the gold standard, How can a non-contact system even compete on accuracy?
Okay.
It feels like we're trading detail for comfort.
Not at all. And this is where the proprietary AI algorithms come in. The platform is using deep learning models trained on these massive data sets to analyze all that non-contact data.
Like breathing patterns, movement.
Yeah. Right. Respiratory patterns, movement, heart rate variability, and with that, they can achieve a level of accuracy that is comparable to the old wire-heavy PSG for analyzing sleep stages and efficiency.
So it's essentially filtering out the noise of the uncomfortable experience and just focusing on the pure physiological signals.
Yes.
That is genuinely a game changer.
And the practical application is immense. It drastically speeds up the entire process from the initial test to an actionable treatment plan. The AI crunches the data immediately and gives doctors these sophisticated insights and, crucially, early risk alerts for OSA prediction.
So they can start therapy way faster.
Much, much faster than traditional methods allow.
It's the perfect marriage of, like, human-centered design and cutting-edge data analysis. You've got the comfortable new facility, the integrated team of 4 specialists covering everything from stress to surgery, and then you layer on this high-accuracy, non-contact AI diagnostic tool.
It's a powerful combination.
Yeah, that really sets this center apart.
It really establishes a new blueprint for how to tackle these complex chronic conditions. The future of healthcare is definitely moving toward this level of integrated, non-invasive precision.
You know, this entire model, the focus on using technology specifically to enhance patient comfort and diagnostic speed, it's exactly what my friend Steve is always hammering home about tech adoption.
You mean Steve, the executive director of Arizona Taiwan office?
Yeah. He's constantly saying that innovation is pointless unless it actually translates into a tangible improvement in quality of life for the end user.
Right.
And this center is the perfect example of that. It's not just tech for the sake of looking futuristic.
Right.
It's technology to help the 4.6 million people in Taiwan who are literally struggling to breathe at night.
That's a fantastic synthesis. And if we pull back to our big picture insight, that critical link between oxygen deprivation from sleep apnea and severe cardiovascular risk, it really raises an important question for you, the listener. Given the high accuracy and, the ease of use of this AI integrated sleep screening platform, how quickly should this type of high accuracy preventative sleep screening move from a specialized test to just a routine part of our standard annual physical exams? It's something we all need to start advocating for.
Indeed. Hopefully. Now, armed with this knowledge, you can approach your own sleep health with both humor and the seriousness it deserves. And perhaps you can finally get a much better night's rest. The Board Business Channel. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.